Comfort whispers promises of ease and safety, but greatness demands something harder, grit. It's the relentless fire that pushes you beyond every excuse, every moment of weakness, every tempting shortcut. When the world offers comfort, the warrior chooses grit because comfort breeds complacency, but grit builds legends. Today, decide to trade fleeting ease for lasting strength. Choose the hard path, the one that challenges you, shapes you, and ultimately frees you. Your comfort zone is a cage. Your grit is the key. Unlock your potential and rise. Every human being naturally seeks comfort. It's wired deep into our biology, the gentle warmth of safety, the predictable rhythms of routine, and the ease that comes from avoiding pain or hardship. Comfort feels like a refuge, a place where worries fade and the weight of the world lightens. It's the tempting invitation to stay still, to avoid struggle, and to settle into what's familiar. Yet, beneath this desire for comfort lies a paradox. Comfort can become a cage that limits growth, dulls ambition, and stalls the journey toward greatness. You know this tension intimately because it plays out in your life every day. Perhaps it's the alarm you hit snooze on one more time, the project you delay because it feels too hard, or the voice inside that whispers, you deserve a break. You felt the pull of comfort in moments when pushing forward seemed daunting or uncertain. It's relatable because it's human. We all crave ease, but greatness requires more than comfort. It demands grit. Grit is the raw, unpolished force that propels you through discomfort, doubt, and fatigue. It is the persistence that carries you when motivation fades, the discipline that holds you when temptation whispers to quit, and the resilience that fuels your rise after failure. Grit is not glamorous. It's not a sudden burst of inspiration or a moment of perfect strength. It's the quiet, consistent grind, the daily commitment to choosing challenge over ease, progress over pause, and courage over complacency. Culturally, grit is celebrated in stories of heroes, innovators, and leaders. It's the thread woven through every great achievement, whether building a business, mastering a craft, or overcoming adversity. These stories resonate because they reflect a universal truth. Lasting success is rarely the product of talent alone. It's forged in the fires of persistence, sacrifice, and hard work. The values of perseverance, resilience, and purposeful struggle are deeply embedded in cultures around the world, inspiring generations to push beyond limits. Eric Thomas embodies this principle. His life story, marked by homelessness and hardship, is a testament to the power of grit. He chose to rise each day with relentless determination, refusing to let comfort or circumstance dictate his destiny. His message is clear. Comfort is a slow killer of dreams. Grit is the spark that lights the fire of greatness. This lesson is not just for the extraordinary. It's for anyone ready to choose growth over ease. Your journey may feel ordinary, but the battle between grit and comfort is profoundly personal. You face it in moments large and small. The temptation to procrastinate, to avoid pain, or to settle for good enough. Sometimes it's the subtle voice that says, maybe later, or the excuses that justify staying in your comfort zone. These moments are real and powerful, capable of derailing your progress if left unchecked. Yet you also sense something deeper within, a yearning for purpose, a desire to be more than your circumstances. You want to break free from the chains of complacency and step into a life defined by meaning and achievement. This inner conflict is the battleground where grit is born. It requires honest self-reflection, recognizing where comfort has held you back and deciding to act despite fear or fatigue. Choosing grit over comfort means embracing discomfort as part of growth. It's understanding that pain, struggle, and sacrifice are not signs of failure, but necessary steps toward transformation. It means rethinking your relationship with difficulty, not as something to avoid, but as the catalyst that refines you. This shift in mindset opens the door to resilience and empowers you to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep and uncertain. You may worry about the cost of missing out on rest, leisure, or ease, but the truth is the price of comfort is far greater. It's a life half lived, potential unrealized, and dreams deferred. Grit demands that you pay the price now with sweat, patience, and persistence so you can reap the rewards of freedom, fulfillment, and lasting success. This isn't a call to reckless sacrifice or burnout. True grit honors balance and self-care, recognizing that sustainable growth requires nurturing your mind, body, and spirit. It's about smart, deliberate effort, not blind hustle. It's about setting boundaries, seeking support, and pacing yourself on the long road ahead. The battle between grit and comfort is ongoing, Every day presents new choices to linger in ease or to step into challenge, to accept mediocrity or to pursue excellence. This struggle shapes your character and your future. The courage to choose grit transforms ordinary people into legends. Not because they never fail, but because they never stop trying. Your story is still being written. The moments you choose grit over comfort define the narrative of your life. They build the foundation of a legacy rooted in strength, integrity, and unwavering purpose. This journey will test you, but it will also reveal the warrior within. Resilient, relentless, and ready to rise. So as you stand at this crossroads, remember that comfort may feel safe, but it cannot lead you to greatness. Grit is the path to your fullest potential. It asks for sacrifice, but promises freedom. It demands discipline, but delivers transformation. This is your invitation to choose grit, to embrace struggle, and to outwork every excuse that holds you back. The journey will not be easy, but the reward, living a life of purpose, strength, and true fulfillment, is worth every step. The choice to prioritize grit over comfort is rarely simple or straightforward. It is a constant internal battle that plays out in the quiet corners of your mind long after the applause fades and distractions settle. This conflict is deeply personal and profoundly human, a struggle between the desire for ease and the call to grow, between surrender and relentless pursuit. At the heart of this conflict is the inner dialogue that many know all too well. When your alarm sounds in the early morning, the warmth of your bed beckons like a siren song, tempting you to stay still just a little longer. Your mind offers excuses. You're tired. You deserve a break. Tomorrow is another day. Each excuse feels reasonable, comforting even, yet with every snooze, doubt inches closer, whispering that maybe you lack the strength to sustain the mission. This internal tug of war is exhausting and its weight can feel unbearable. But doubt isn't the only adversary. The world around you often conspires to keep you comfortable and complacent. Society, in many ways, rewards safety and conformity over risk and relentless effort. You hear the well, meaning advice to slow down or be realistic. And these words, while kind on the surface, sometimes serve as chains that bind you to mediocrity. Friends and family might urge you to settle for what's familiar, fearing for your well-being more than your dreams. Their concern, while rooted in love, can unintentionally feed your doubts and erode your resolve. This external resistance is magnified by the culture of instant gratification that permeates modern life. Success stories flash by in headlines and social feeds, often sanitized and simplified, hiding the countless hours of grinding, failing, and rising that preceded every triumph. It's easy to forget that every legend, every breakthrough was built on a foundation of grit and sacrifice, things that rarely make the highlight reel. When you compare your messy reality to someone else's curated success, doubt finds fertile ground to grow. Failures and setbacks sharpen this conflict further. You pour your heart into your goals only to encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. A project falls apart, a promotion is denied, a relationship fractures. These moments cut deeply, shaking your confidence and tempting you to retreat into comfort. You ask yourself, is this fight worth it? Am I chasing something I can never reach? The sting of failure can feel like confirmation that doubt was right all along. Discipline, the armor you must wear daily, often feels heavy and relentless. It's not glamorous to push yourself when every fiber screams for rest. It's a quiet war waged in the early mornings and late nights. In choosing the harder path when shortcuts beckon, discipline demands sacrifices of time, energy, and sometimes social life. This sacrifice breeds loneliness, a solitude where doubt and fear can resurface with even greater intensity. The moral choices you face in this conflict shape not only your success, but your character. Will you allow comfort to dictate your life, or will you embrace the discomfort necessary for growth? Will you persist in the face of failure, or let setbacks define your limits? Will you be honest with yourself about your effort and commitment, or make excuses to avoid hard truths? These questions test your integrity and self-belief daily. Self-belief, fragile and vulnerable, is under constant attack. You may struggle to see your own worth when progress stalls and the world's noise grows deafening. Imposter syndrome creeps in, convincing you that you're fooling yourself, that sooner or later you'll be found out. Rebuilding this belief requires immense courage and patience. It means recognizing your inherent value beyond achievements and learning to celebrate the process, not just the results. In the depths of this conflict, moments of silence become both a challenge and an opportunity. When distractions fade and you are left alone with your thoughts. You confront your fears and hopes unfiltered. These moments test your resilience, forcing you to listen carefully to the voice of your inner warrior rather than the whisper of doubt. This silence is where true transformation begins, when you choose to stand firm despite uncertainty and fatigue. The struggle to outwork doubt is not isolated. It is shared across cultures and histories. Every great achievement, from the simplest acts of kindness to the grandest feats of innovation, has been born from someone choosing grit over comfort. You join this lineage of warriors, those who faced immense resistance, yet refused to relent. Their stories remind you that while the conflict is hard, it is also a sign of your growing strength and potential. Dialogue, when it surfaces, reveals the depth of this battle. Confiding in a mentor or trusted friend, you might say, "I'm exhausted. I don't know if I can keep this up." Their response, "It's okay to feel tired, but remember why you started," becomes a lifeline. These exchanges reinforce your resolve and remind you that persistence is not a solitary endeavor. Support and accountability fuel your journey. Every step you take to push through this conflict strengthens your grit and your character. You begin to redefine failure, not as defeat, but as feedback essential for growth. You learn to embrace discomfort as a teacher rather than a punishment. This shift empowers you to keep showing up, to keep grinding, and to keep believing. The conflict is ongoing. It will return in new forms as you advance on your path, but with each victory, no matter how small, you build an unshakable foundation of courage, discipline, and faith in yourself. This foundation transforms doubt from a paralyzing foe into a challenge to be overcome. Choosing grit over comfort is not a momentary decision, but a lifelong commitment. It requires daily recommitment, self-reflection, and the courage to face your own limitations honestly. But it also promises profound transformation, a life lived with purpose, authenticity, and unstoppable momentum. This conflict, while painful, is the proving ground of greatness. It is where ordinary people become warriors, where dreams are forged into reality through relentless effort. It is the battle that shapes not just your destiny, but the legacy you leave behind. And so you continue, not because the struggle has ended, but because you have chosen to rise above it. Not because doubt has disappeared, but because your grit is louder. Your story is one of relentless courage, a story worth telling and living every single day. The turning point in your journey is not marked by grand fanfare or sudden triumph. Instead, it often arrives quietly, subtly, a moment when the noise finally fades and you confront a powerful truth deep within yourself. Perhaps it is a still evening, the world hushed around you, and your thoughts swirling like a storm you can no longer ignore. You find yourself facing the doubts, fears, and exhaustion that have shadowed your path. The mission feels heavy, the obstacles daunting, and the voice of giving up grows louder than ever before. Yet it is precisely in this fragile, vulnerable moment that clarity breaks through. You realize that the power to change your life, to conquer doubt, and to live with relentless grit has always been inside you. It was never something to seek outside, never a distant prize to win. This power lives in every decision you make to keep going when your body wants to rest, to show up when motivation is gone, and to act when fear tempts you to freeze. You have been cultivating this strength all along. In every silent battle you fought, in every step you took forward, even when no one else noticed. This realization shifts everything. You see doubt not as an enemy, but as a natural part of growth, a signal that you are pushing boundaries, stretching beyond comfort, and reaching toward your true potential. You understand that silence and struggle are not signs of weakness, but the quiet forge where your resilience is tempered. You begin to embrace discomfort as a necessary companion on the road to greatness, not as a burden to avoid. Your mindset transforms from "can I" to "I will." From "what if I fail" to "what can I learn?" The fear that once paralyzed you becomes fuel for action. You no longer wait for perfect conditions or external validation. Instead, you take ownership of your journey, trusting that consistent effort, no matter how small, will build momentum. This shift ignites a deep well of motivation, not the fleeting spark of passion, but a steady, enduring flame rooted in purpose and self-belief. You recognize that the mission is bigger than any single moment of doubt or fatigue. It is the sum of every choice you make to rise, to persevere, and to honor your commitment to yourself. With this newfound clarity, you forgive yourself for past mistakes and missteps. You realize that perfection was never the goal. Progress was. You accept your humanity with all its flaws and strengths and understand that vulnerability is a source of power, not shame. This acceptance allows you to move forward with grace and confidence, no longer held hostage by fear of failure or judgment. You feel a renewed sense of focus and energy coursing through your veins, a deep, invigorating clarity that shifts the entire landscape of your mind and spirit. The distractions that once cluttered your thoughts, the excuses that previously served as convenient roadblocks, now lose their grip, dissolving into mere background noise. They no longer hold power over your decisions, your motivation, or your sense of purpose. Instead, your mission, your true north, shines brighter than ever, a steady beacon cutting through the fog of uncertainty. This mission is no longer just a vague idea or distant dream. It has become a guiding force, an unwavering compass that directs every step you take. It anchors you in moments of chaos and doubt, reminding you why you began this journey in the first place. Each challenge, each obstacle you encounter on the path ahead feels less like a wall and more like a stepping stone, an opportunity to learn, grow, and prove your resilience. You understand now that while the road is still long and filled with difficulty, it is entirely navigable because you have found something far more valuable than a clear path. You have found the inner compass of resilience. This resilience is not a simple quality. It is a complex, multifaceted strength forged in the fires of experience, discipline, and persistence. It is the quiet voice inside you that urges you to keep going when your body begs for rest, when your mind is clouded with doubt, and when the world seems indifferent to your efforts. Resilience means bending without breaking, adapting without losing sight of your values, and rising every time you fall. It is the armor that protects your spirit and the fuel that ignites your forward momentum. With this newfound clarity, your focus sharpens. You no longer waste precious energy on distractions that do not serve your mission. Social media scrolling, toxic conversations, self-sabotaging thoughts, all of these lose their power because your priorities have become crystal clear. Instead of reacting impulsively to every stimulus, you respond thoughtfully, choosing actions that align with your goals and values. Your time becomes sacred, your efforts intentional, and your mindset unshakable. This transformation is not merely about external changes. It is a profound internal shift. You begin to see yourself through a lens of compassion and possibility rather than judgment and limitation. The mistakes and missteps that once weighed heavily now serve as valuable lessons, markers of growth rather than failures. You forgive yourself for past shortcomings and celebrate your progress, understanding that resilience is built one step, one decision, one moment at a time. The energy you feel is both grounding and uplifting. It carries you forward with a quiet confidence, a certainty born not from arrogance, but from hard-won experience. You have faced storms before and emerged stronger. This knowledge settles in your bones and steadies your heart. You move through each day with purpose, knowing that your mission is worth every sacrifice and challenge. Importantly, this inner compass of resilience also deepens your connection with others. You recognize that you are not alone on this journey. Your struggles, hopes, and victories resonate with those around you. You seek out relationships that uplift and support, and you become a source of inspiration and strength to others who face their own battles. Your authenticity invites trust, and your perseverance encourages community. In practical terms, this clarity and energy translate into concrete habits and choices. You design your environment to support your mission, setting boundaries that protect your focus, creating routines that build momentum, and cultivating mindfulness to stay present. You celebrate small wins, understanding that progress is cumulative. Every task completed, every challenge overcome adds fuel to your resilience. You also become adept at managing setbacks. Rather than being derailed by failure or disappointment, you view them as inevitable parts of the journey. You ask, what can I learn here? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This shift in perspective empowers you to turn adversity into advantage and keeps your mission moving forward. The path ahead may still hold uncertainty and difficulty, but with this renewed focus and energy, you face it with courage and grace. You are no longer intimidated by the unknown because your inner compass guides you steadily through the darkness. You trust in your ability to navigate challenges, to adapt when necessary, and to stay true to your purpose. Ultimately, this experience reveals a timeless truth. True strength comes not from avoiding hardship, but from embracing it with resilience and focus. Your mission is not simply a goal to be achieved, but a way of being. a commitment to living intentionally, growing continually, and persevering relentlessly. As you move forward, carry this renewed sense of purpose as your guide. Let it remind you that distractions and excuses will come and go, but your inner compass of resilience is permanent. It is your steadfast companion on the road to greatness, lighting the way when the journey feels long and the nights grow dark. This is your power, the power to outwork doubt, silence fear, and walk your path with unwavering focus. Embrace it fully and watch as your mission unfolds with clarity, strength, and unstoppable momentum. This breakthrough is not just a personal victory, it is a transformation that radiates outward. You become a living example of courage and determination, inspiring others who face their own battles with doubt. Your journey becomes a testament to the power of grit and relentless effort, a story of silent strength that speaks louder than words. As you rise from this turning point, you carry with you a profound truth. The warrior inside you is awake, fierce, and unstoppable. The mission is no longer a distant dream, but a living reality shaped by your courage and commitment. Every step forward is a declaration that doubt will not define you. With this power, you step boldly into the future, ready to face whatever comes, fueled by a clarity and strength that no obstacle can break. This is your awakening. This is your moment to rise. As the sun rises on a new day, a deep and abiding peace settles over you, a peace that springs not from circumstance, but from the enduring strength cultivated within. This peace is the reward of relentless grit, unwavering discipline, and the courage to face doubt head on rather than retreat into comfort. It is a calm assurance that despite life's unpredictable challenges, you have become the kind of person who can meet adversity with resolve and grace. Looking back, you see that the journey was never about flawless success or instant gratification. It was about the quiet, steady commitment to show up each day, to do the work when no one else was watching, and to trust the process even when the path was unclear. This commitment has transformed you. It has reshaped your character, instilling a profound respect for yourself and for the mission you pursue. Your sense of worth is no longer fragile or conditional. It is grounded in the dignity of honest effort and integrity, values that transcend fleeting achievements or the judgments of others. You've learned to honor the person you are becoming rather than only the goals you seek. This shift aligns with timeless cultural ideals, perseverance in the face of hardship, responsibility for one's choices, and authenticity in living one's truth. This authenticity extends into your relationships. As you embrace your journey, you naturally inspire those around you. Friends, family, and colleagues recognize the strength in your consistency, the humility in your vulnerability, and the power in your perseverance. Your story becomes a source of hope for others, a reminder that greatness is accessible not just to the gifted, but to the committed. Redemption is woven throughout your experience, not as a final destination, but as a daily practice. You have come to understand that true redemption lies in embracing your full story, including the failures and fears, and choosing to move forward with renewed clarity and purpose. This acceptance brings healing and renewal, freeing you from the weight of past mistakes and enabling growth rooted in compassion. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, carry with you this renewed sense of peace and clarity. You are no longer defined by doubt or fear, but by the unwavering commitment to outwork every challenge and to live with integrity. Your mission is your anchor, and your grit is your guide. The road ahead will have its trials, but you face it equipped with the wisdom born of experience and the strength that comes from steadfast resolve. You are no longer seeking approval or validation from the outside world. Your approval comes from within, from the deep well of self-respect you have cultivated. This is your legacy, a life lived with purpose, authenticity, and relentless courage. And as you rest tonight, know that each new day is an opportunity to continue this journey, to deepen your grit, expand your vision, and inspire others through your example. Your story is far from over. It is a testament to the power of choosing grit over comfort, effort over doubt, and growth over stagnation. And in this truth, you find not just peace, but profound freedom, the freedom to be fully yourself, living the mission you were born to fulfill. Choosing grit over comfort is not a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment to face doubt, push through fear, and keep moving forward even when the path feels uncertain. If this message resonates with your journey, I invite you to reflect and share one word that fuels your fire. Is it discipline, focus, or courage, or resilience? Drop your word in the comments below and connect with others who are fighting the same battle. Your single word might be the spark someone else needs to keep going, and their word could inspire you to rise again tomorrow. Together, we form a community of warriors, relentless, authentic, and unstoppable. Your mission matters. Your voice matters. Let's continue choosing grit over comfort, one powerful step at a time.